fire were being fought by firefighters lighting backfires.
Right.
Because the winds were blowing it and pushing it onto itself. But we are told that this fire is 100% contained.
Yeah, it looks like they've set fire lines by setting backfires. You know, on the wider picture here, though, you can see there's a lot of ball fields very close to this, and there you can see some of the crews out on the fire. There's volunteers or maybe fire department regulars on this. There they are. And it looks like they've been very successful in setting backfires to slow this down, given the direction of the wind and where this is moving. Fire now blowing back on itself, which is how they get that done. Very dry out there. All that grass pretty much is turned to wheat. And we're not sure how this one got started. It's very small, but there was a lot of concern because it was near some recreation facilities and some residential areas.
This is a sports complex, or near a sports complex. There you see part of it on your right. It's 64th and Highway 93. Again, this is north of Arvada. But just testament to exactly how dry it is. Anything can spark a fire like this. A carelessly tossed out cigarette or a spark from a car or brakes or something like that. You really don't know what started this, and I'm sure they'll be investigating that. But the good news is they do have 100% containment on this grass fire.
Scott Pribble with Arvada Fire on the phone, and Scott, we're hearing that this is contained, and it looks like the frantic efforts to get in front of it, everyone now kind of watching it blow back on itself, or are we wrong about that? Are we seeing new fire here still?
No, you're correct. It is 100% contained at this point. We are setting fires for what's called a back burn to burn the fire back onto itself and button it up, but it is 100% contained at this point.
That's very good news. Scott, do you know what caused yet? What sparked this fire?
This was purely an accident. We had a family that was out here at the park enjoying a nice day, had some model rockets that you may be familiar with, and one of them, when it fired up in the air, it went the wrong direction and landed in this field and started this fire.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a family having fun.
Yeah, having a good time on a weekend afternoon.
Absolutely.
So this was how big? I know that the concerns were that it was close to the recreation area there, but did it ever get to be a sizable fire, or are we just talking a couple of acres here?
This was we're estimating about 20 acres. It never did get close to the recreational area, to the sports facilities here. We're pretty fortunate that we had some nice roads all the way around this fire, and the winds weren't high enough out here to move the fire past the roadblocks.
This is maybe a good time for a lesson for anybody who gets caught in a situation. Like you said, this is purely an accident, but what happens if something like this happens to you? You've sparked a fire. Uh-oh, do you just call 911?
Absolutely. Call 911, get help started immediately. Don't try to put it out yourself before you do that. Make sure you get help started immediately. And we'd rather be out here and you say, oh, we put it out before you got here. We'd much rather have that situation. If you wait, the time that you're waiting could make it a much worse fire than it could have been.
Scott, how characterize this area for us? We've seen the ball fields. How close are we to any densely built residential areas here?
We are probably about a half mile from the residences. There's quite a bit of roads and other areas. That really wasn't a concern for us at this point. We just want to make sure we kept it off the ball fields and the amount of damage that could have been done there.
Sure. And are these Arvada regulars, or have you asked for help from volunteers, or who all do you have on the fire?
We have 7 trucks here from 2 different departments. This is Arvada Fire's primary response area, and we have trucks here from Arvada and also from our neighbor at Fairmont Fire.
All right. Sky 9's going to head back up to the other fire. Scott Pribble with Arvada Fire. Thanks so much for the information and being with us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Very fortunate that they got on that so quickly. All the fires that we've had are... it's been a weary time for firefighters, and a lot of the regular units, of course, responded and have been actively involved in the 4 Mile Canyon fire. And if this new fire that is burning sort of between Estes Park and Loveland here grows any larger, then a lot of firemen who thought they were going to get rested could end up being back on the line.
And I think a lot of people do get lulled in this